The key idea here when we look at the ocean, the darker the blue, the deeper the ocean, the lighter the blue, the less deep, the more shallow it is. And so going back to Southeast Asia, it's quite shallow along this particular area of Southeast Asia, where along this line we see the deepest part of the ocean. So the deepest part of the ocean is not in the middle of the ocean. So let's go ahead and look at the deepest part. So we go to the Pacific Islands, and I mentioned the deepest part is the Mariana Trench, and more specifically right here is what they call Challenger Deep, which is the deepest part that you can go anywhere in an ocean, anywhere on Earth. So what's just simply happening there is a trench. One plate is going underneath another plate. So what we have here is the Philippine plate, which we can see is going underneath the Eurasian plate, and where that plate collision is occurring, the Philippine plate, which is heavier, is being forced underneath and thus creating a trench right along here. And so the Filipino Islands are essentially examples of island arcs, much bigger island arcs than the ones we see here along the Pacific plate boundary colliding with the Philippine plate. So the Philippine plate that's right here is essentially having collision on two sides. It's heading that direction, so it's colliding with the Eurasian plate, but at the same time, moving faster is the Pacific plate, which is colliding it from behind. So we zoom in and we see along this trench is where we find island arcs. And so once again, these trenches where the plate collision is, you're going to find the trench on this side of the island arcs. And so that means this plate is colliding with this plate and thus going underneath it, creating the island arc. So just a small little sliver of these island arcs are above sea level, thus creating landforms. And we know those is, in this case, is Guam and Northern Mariana Islands, 2 U.S. territories. So let's go to the topographic profile and take a look at this. We go ahead and now let's look at Guam. So we're going to go right through Guam. We're going to go from one side to the other. And we can see the topographic profile right through here. This is the Philippine plate all through here. But what's happening is the Pacific plate is going underneath it, being forced underneath it, and there is our deep ocean trench, the Mariana Trench. That small little part that's above sea level, above the green, is the small little livable part of this particular area called Guam, and of course the Northern Marianas also pokes above the surface.